What's going on, everybody? Danny Koker here, aka The Count, for another episode of Counts on Cars. Thanks for tuning in to the Counts Customs YouTube channel. Maybe you just watched a brand new episode of Counting Cars, and maybe not. Maybe you're catching this later, but I want to talk about the episode that just aired. Let's talk about some of the things that were in this particular episode. One of them was a great Harley Davidson. It was a 2015 Road Glide Bagger, great bike, just a great bike, you know, right out of the box. They're just a terrific motorcycle. But this gentleman brought the bike to us because he really wanted to personalize it and make it very cool. And in my opinion, it is very cool. He happens to be a mechanic engineer type of dude that works at Miramar Air Force Base, which is, you know, where all of the Top Gun training goes on, the best of the best, as far as those cats are concerned. All happens at Miramar, and so this guy is from there. So he wanted a very flag-waving American patriotic theme on his motorcycle, and he could not have come to a better place than Counts Customs. There's one thing you know about us: we are flag-waving, patriotic Americans here. So this was an honor to do this bike. As far as, you know, mechanical was concerned, there really wasn't a lot that was required out of this bike. You know, your basic, you know, fluids, tune-up, that type of thing. Just service it, make sure everything was great. He wanted to update the air cleaner on it, and he wanted to update the front wheel. You really don't see the back wheel, the way the bags and the fender are and everything. Some of the other challenges that Shannon got to face was taking apart, 100% taking apart a beautiful bagger. There's a whole lot of parts there to deal with. And he does a great job with that. And then, of course, after Ryan is done with the paint, you know, Shannon has the wonderful task of putting it all back together properly with no extra parts. So he did a fantastic job on that. So Shannon is your bike couldn't be in better hands than to be in Shannon Eichau's hands. All of the tin, you know, tank, fenders, bags, fairing, it all went to my man Ryan Evans in the paint department. Ryan went crazy, delivered exactly what this gentleman was looking for, and that was the full-on patriotic theme. The bike has got flames from front to rear. Everything in the flames has got the full-on red, white, and blue stars and stripes vibe. And again, it's an honor for us to do something like this. And you know, on the back of the bike, he's got medals that are all involved, you know, with his involvement with the military and with his buddies' involvement with the military. He's got a tribute to one of his buddies right there on the back of one of the bags. The portrait work, I'm so proud of my paint department, man. You know, that consists of Horny Mike. Yes, believe it or not, I love Horny Mike. And a gentleman named Nick Lee that you may get the pleasure of seeing once in a while, either on the show or here on the YouTube channel or social media. And then, of course, all headed up by my man Ryan Evans, who is, you know, just the man. The jet fighters that are on top of the bags themselves, all of the different emblems that represent the different parts of the military that he's involved in. It's just beautiful. This bike came out gorgeous, and I think our guys just absolutely knocked it out of the park. So I was really, really happy about this bike. We, here around the shop, we affectionately nicknamed the bike the Top Gun bike because, of course, the connection to Miramar and the Top Gun Academy there and everything. So it was really an honor to do this bike. Also, speaking of military, this was another, man, this whole episode, my goodness, folks, I just realized as I'm sitting here talking to you, this whole episode has an underlying military theme. Let's move on in this ep. This ep also included a '69 Nova. This Nova is a car that I bought a while back, and it was done up, when I bought it, it was done up as a Yanko '69 Yanko Tribute. Not an original Yanko, so there's no rules. It's a custom car. It was a nice car. I really, really liked the car. I really enjoyed the car, and it was a blast, a fun toy, man. The big block 427, the 4-speed, the 411 posi. I mean, it's your typical light to light muscle machine hot rod, and I had a blast with it. But a group of guys from a place called Camp Freedom, they are something else. They help out retired military, folks that come back with, physical injuries, PTSD, all of this. Camp Freedom works with these retired military folks in all of the things that they need. So I again, it was an honor to do this car for them. This car, the object of this car is to create awareness for Camp Freedom, and they're going to be doing either an auction or some sort of a fundraising for this car. So I really wasn't intending on selling the car. It was just something that I enjoyed and dug. But when Kevin came to me and told me about Camp Freedom and said what they were looking for, I had one right there on my showroom floor ready to go. And like I said, since the '69 Nova was not an original Yanko, good Lord, if it was an original Yanko, I would have it in a plastic bubble on a shelf somewhere and hold on to it for a while. It's a hot rod Nova that was done in Yanko tribute. So there were no rules on this car. And what they were looking for at Camp Freedom was something that was reminiscent of the old school muscle cars that these guys would have enjoyed back in the day. So '69 Nova, of course, we kept that big block 427 in it. Of course, we kept that 4-speed trans in it. And of course, we kept that 411 posi in it. We updated things like, brakes and stuff like that to make it, stop better. It had a very stark interior, which would have been Yanko correct, but we left the very stark interior alone in it because it just screams muscle car. The whole object of the game of muscle cars back in the day was the power to weight ratio. Delete all of the luxuries, delete all the options as plain Jane as can be because it's less weight and the biggest engine you can possibly get in there. So you got your power to weight ratio, and that's what makes a car go like stink. We updated things like the dash. We updated the whole instrument cluster. We changed the stance of the car a bit to give it more of that muscle car vibe. When I had it and it was the Yanko Tribute, the car sat up, very stout, up in the front and, kind of up in the back. And it's just really kind of a stout look and things like that. But wanted to go with that very 70s muscle car vibe. So the nose came down a little bit. The back came up just a hair. Through a set of old school Krager SS, chrome Krager SS. Come on, how can you go wrong with that? It's perfect. And the BF Goodrich radial TAs with the raised white letters. These are all the things that we would have done back in the day on it, and it sat just right. And then of course I'm hugely proud once again with Ryan, who just laid down an amazing paint job on this car. I mean, you've got beautiful candy reds, you've got things that fade like into candy burgundies, you've got silvers that separate one part of the car from the other part of the car. You've got hand done pinstriping all over the car that would have been reminiscent of things that you would have seen in the 70s as well. And we even did some custom etch working on the glass in the back window, etched graphics that kind of mimicked the way the pinstriping was laid out on it, and of course put the Camp Freedom logos on it as well. The folks from Camp Freedom love the car. I personally love the car. It's just so got that proper 70s muscle car vibe. Any one of us, back in the day would have absolutely loved to be driving this car. So Camp Freedom loved it. I loved the car. I think the biggest challenge on this car was prying it out of my hands. A 69 Nova with a big block 427, 4-speed and 411s. Come on. I love that kind of stuff. But, you know, when Kevin told me what it was all about, I'm going to support. And so it was an honor to do this car. And again, I can't believe this show being so military themed, you know, leads us to the final vehicle that was on this show, which was a 1964 and a half Mustang Coupe. Very first Mustang was the 64 and a half, came out, and they were, you know, the coupe, and they were, you know, small engine, not all that big of a deal. But we made this one really cool, and again, sticking with the military theme. The couple that owns this car now, Dwight and Sabrina, really wonderful folks. I've met them out on the road when my band is traveling. Count 77, oh, bam. When Count 77 is out touring and traveling, we get to meet a lot of really wonderful people. And met Dwight and Sabrina on the road. I believe, I can't keep it all straight, but I know they're out of the Midwest, and I believe I may have met them at a show somewhere in Ohio. I don't know, but I also met them at a couple of other shows in the Midwest as we traveled around. They came to different shows that we were at, and just really cool people. As it turns out, this car had been in the family for quite some time, and you know, as it happens, you know, family members, they get called home to be with the Lord, and so certain things get passed on to family members, and this car got passed on to Dwight and Sabrina. As it also turns out, Sabrina's dad was chief engineer for Air Force One. That's huge. They got the car handed down to them, and they wanted to build a cool Mustang and pay respect to her father in the process of this. One of the things that really sticks out to me on the car is the glove box door. The emblem on the glove box door is an emblem that represents the part of the service that her father, you know, was part of, and it's got his dates on it, like 1935 to 2015, and it's a beautiful, very patriotic Indian head emblem with, you know, of course the whole red, white, and blue patriotic theme in it as well. So that was just a really special touch that Ryan did on the glove box door of that Mustang. And for those of you out there that know how the glove box door feels on a Mustang, it's all wrinkle finish, man. So this was not easy to put this mural on that door. But the car itself needed a whole lot of love, to be honest with you. We took the whole car apart, sent it to sandblast. When it came back, I mean, it was just rusted. I mean, rusted bad, rusted very bad. Most people probably would not have put the time, money, and effort into a vehicle like this. It was gone. But because of the sentimental value of this vehicle, they stepped up and said, we really want to save this car and restore it. And frankly, that's what they did. They saved this car. It was on its way to the crusher. And so the biggest challenge on this car was fab work, metal work. When I tell you almost everything was replaced on this car, I'm not kidding you. Almost everything was replaced on this car, metal-wise. The bad about that is it's always a challenge in rebuilding an entire car like that, and it's costly and it's time-consuming. But they really wanted to do it. The plus about that is the fact that everything is new. So, you know, when it comes time for bodywork and paint, you're working with all new steel. It also gave us the opportunity to make sure everything fit properly, gapped out properly, worked properly. We replaced the small 260 V8 in it. We put a really nice 302 with very mild street performance goodies, a nice cam, nice intake, nice carburetor, nice exhaust, all that kind of stuff to boost it up. So this 302 is a healthy little 302 in it, backed up with your automatic trans and disc brakes put on it. So it's just a fantastic street car. It's got a huge aluminum radiator in it. We updated, put Restomod air conditioning, modern air conditioning in the car. It's got your power steering, power disc brakes, all that kind of stuff. So it's a car you can use and drive every day, but it looks amazing. And the interior, we completely upgraded the interior on this car. Beautiful black and almost like a camel colored inserts. Put a Flaming River tilt column in it, put a Shelby style steering wheel in it, modern stereo in it. It's just got all the goodies. On the outside, I wanted to do a proper Shelby style hood scoop on it, but in a way that was done a lot back in the day, as opposed to molding it in. You cut your hole, you fit your hood scoop, and you do like the really nice polished button heads on it, so it gives it a really kind of a tough look. Wanted to open up the grille, do all of the emblem deletes, everything in the grille, added a chin spoiler to it. As far as wheels were concerned on the car, we put chrome Krager SS 5 spokes. I mean, you can't go wrong. They're timeless. They're what so many of us used back in the day, and we're still using them today on a car that's timeless. And so we did that. We did the Cooper Cobras with the raised white letters on it. Man, the trunk was finished. Everything on this car, 64.5 Mustang coupe, very much updated. Better engine, trans, rear end, brakes, air conditioning, radiator, stereo, all of the goodies to really make it an enjoyable, fun, and a car that'll get up and move. Ryan, man, it gets to Ryan in the paint shop. This man laid down a gorgeous, gorgeous paint job on this car. Again, it's a candied, man, to call it red, it's not quite red. To call it burgundy or maroon, or what we call around here marugandy, it's not quite that either. It's just got a beautiful tone to it. And then I wanted the Shelby style racing stripes, GT stripes on them, but I didn't want them to be just in your face, so they're really buried in the candy. The car just came out gorgeous. Inside, stunning. Outside, stunning. Under the hood, stunning. I'm extremely proud of this car. And it's not a car that a lot of people go for a lot. When those first generation Mustangs, more people do fastbacks. I get it. More people do convertibles. I get it. The coupes are probably done the least of all. This particular coupe, it's gorgeous. I would be thrilled to drive this car anywhere, anytime, every day. It's absolutely fantastic ride, and it couldn't have gone to a nicer couple than Sabrina and Dwight. They're just wonderful people, and paying respect, to her dad, who served in our military in a manner that I can't say that I've really met a lot of people that have done anything like that, to be the guy in charge of Air Force One through at least a couple of administrations. That's pretty huge. So again, it was an absolute honor to be able to do this out of my respect for our military. And if you all know me, then you already know what I'm about to tell you. If you don't know me, maybe this is an explanation as to why I support our military endlessly. And it's just the way I was brought up. I mean, I'm a patriotic guy. I'm a flag waving guy. But my father, brought me up in a manner to really respect our military. My father was 10th Special Forces, Green Beret, 101st Airborne. Jump out of a perfectly good airplane. Good Lord Almighty. It taught me how to respect our military, brought me up properly. And I have the utmost respect, and I encourage you to spread that love and respect around for our military. So this episode, to me, was really a special episode. It was all three vehicles, the motorcycle, the Nova, the Mustang, they were all military connected in one way or another. And so this was an honor to do this episode, and I really hope that you all enjoyed this episode, and I hope you enjoyed this episode that you're watching right now here on the Counts Customs YouTube channel of Counts on Cars. I love giving you guys the behind-the-scenes stuff that went on these vehicles and more of a backstory, because you can only fit so much on the show. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this. I hope you enjoyed the vehicles, and thank you for watching. I encourage you to subscribe and hit that subscribe button right there on the Counts Customs YouTube channel. I'm going to keep bringing you more stuff. I'm going to talk to you about every episode of Counting Cars that airs, and I'm going to keep bringing you cool stuff about things we're doing on the shop, things we're doing all over the place. You never know. So just stay tuned, subscribe to our Counts Customs YouTube channel, and I promise you there's more cool stuff on the way. In the meantime, thanks for joining me today. I will talk to you again very soon. You guys rock.